We are on at Barcelona tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Tire pain in Spain, round 5 of our GT3 championship, as we have our even numbered cars going out tonight. Tonight is the double header format. We have quite the amazing grid tonight. We have a couple of new drivers that have joined that I think are going to be I'm excited. I'm excited because there's going to be even more fighting in the front of the grid, as if there wasn't enough. Hope everyone's doing well. If you could let me know. Hope all systems are go. Audio's coming through okay. Yeah, let's get right to the action. Got 18 minutes left in qualifying. It is split into 2 parts. We got the first 10 minutes being driven by our even numbered cars, and the next 10 minutes by our odd numbered cars. How's everybody in chat doing tonight? Karu, welcome. Blisket, Mouse, Brandon, great job in the race. I watched that last race. You did an awesome job. Really good finish there. Strong performance from you in the Porsche Cup. Was exciting to watch. I know Lucas was giving you as much pressure as he could, but just wasn't quite enough. You kept it clean and took it all the way to the end there. Jaeger, 5 minutes of practice. That's is that 2 valid laps or 0 valid laps, Jaeger? That's the real question. As we see wheeling right here, a little bit of wiggle at the end there. Hey, that's 4 or 5 more minutes than I would have gotten in practice, so give the guy credit where credit's due. We got Jace Wright on the board here, still coming to terms with his equipment. So those of you who are just joining and don't know, we used to call him Joystick Jace, the controller king. Was incredibly quick, a top 10 to at the very least, probably maybe top 5 performer on the controller, and has since bought wheel and pedals. I think he went for some Moza equipment. Now he's been struggling quite a bit coming to grips with his new equipment. It's just to say, you know, a lot of people go out there and buy better. Oh, I'm gonna go direct drive, or I'm gonna buy load cell pedals, and I could tell you for a fact that I've seen many people do that and not necessarily find the gains that they were expecting to. But more importantly, I know a couple of incredibly quick people who were on really basic equipment like G27s. One of the fastest people in the whole entire server of all of our championships was rocking a G27 with a rolly chair and a desk setup. Just unreal. Practice over equipment all day. So just a little bit of advice for those of you looking to upgrade. As Jace Wright tries to finish a lap here and does get one in. Let's try to see if we could get the lap times on here. So we're messing around with the stuff earlier. There we go. Got the times up for you. Yeah. Mumbles, that's crazy. Top 3 on keyboard. I you know, sometimes I'll do mouse and keyboard for fun. Just to get out there, you know, have a little bit of fun. When I play with some of my friends who are brand new to Simracing to try and even things up, and it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. It's hilarious though. I do really enjoy going out on mouse and keyboard. As we have a bunch of people up on the boards now. Fastest lap, Ali Raza with a 43.9. Moses, 44.2, 44.6 for Shooty, P3. That's about half of 6, which is what you would expect when the second half of the grid comes in. Slot Shooty into his home position of P6. Artem, 44.8. And then we got Larry, 44.7. No, I'm looking at the wrong numbers. 44.9 for Larry Lanham. Wilson Fernandez coming in with a 43.7, topping the charts. Ali's gonna need quite a bit of performance improvement. Needs a 10th and a half to gain that pole position back from Wilson Fernandez if they have a couple of laps to go. Fernandez, Raza, Moses, Schutte, Artem, Lenham, Music, Freeman, Wright, and Hopkins closing off the top 10. As we have 36 people in the server, 36 people trying to fight for that top spot. And that top spot's quite important for this track, because overtaking is really difficult. You do have the long straight. It's just not quite enough to do very much on the front. It does provide some overtaking opportunities, but still quite difficult to overtake in any other section of the track. Even the back straight's not quite long enough, but the front straight's really the only true opportunity to overtake. As we see Wilson coming up to some traffic. Moon Boots, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to TRACKILICIOUS. We are in the 5th round of our GT3 championship. As we see our pole sitter, Wilson Fernandez, trying to build himself a little bit of gap to the drivers ahead. Still maintaining pole position only by 100th of a second. 43.785 compared to the 43.795 from Ali Raza in P2. Let's hop on board with Ali and see what he has to offer. On a purple lap right now, trying to gain that pole position before the clock ticks over to 10 minutes, where the odd numbered cars come out and challenge that top spot. Coming around the final corner here. Does he have enough? Yes, he does. Claims it by 0.06 of a second. Would not expect anything less. Ali Raza and Wilson Fernandez in a tight battle for pole position. I mean, you really can't get that much more exciting in qualifying than you do with these two guys just battling back and forth, trying to get that last little bit of time to try and get that pole position. Again, as we said, really important to be out front in this race. Try to get as many positions in the quali so that you can not have to battle through the race session there as much as you can anyways. Barcelona, sorry, not Bathurst. Barcelona, quite a difficult track to overtake. Again, Wilson Fernandez setting himself up. Let's stay on board with him as he's really trying to gain as much space as he can to really optimize this final lap that he has as he goes through Circuit de Catalunya here at Barcelona for the final, for the 5th race of the season, I should say, not the final. We bring up again, using as much of the track as possible. It's Wilson going through Seat corner onto Worth. Little bit of the curb. Get your wheel straight as much as possible. Back on the throttle as quickly as possible as you go through Campsa. Carry as much speed. Go as wide. Oh, a little bit of an adjustment. Little bit of an adjustment into the La Caja hairpin. Through the Bank Sabadell corner and the Europe car complex, and finally the chicane rock through New Holland corner. Does he have a lap in him? I'm not so sure. And while we've been paying attention to Wilson Fernandez, Charlie Booth has snuck in with a 10th in hand and for pole position. Charlie Booth, a new joiner to the series, a box 3 regular. Charlie, we all know, an incredibly fast driver, as we have now the time having ticked over sub 10 minutes, and we see the even numbered cars out there. Some of the people to watch out for: Renato Dornelas, Gabriel Felipe, all super quick guys. I think Franco Sanchez also up there. Jake Wells in here as well. Huge performances for all these people in the past races. Quinn Smith in the mix as well. Huge performances expected by multiple of these guys. So really have to look out for whether they're going to be able to shake up that top 5, top 6 position. Schutte bumping into 5th position. Again, trying to find his home at 6th place. Vadik, thank you for the hydrate. I'm going to hit that up in a second here. Again, how's everybody doing tonight? Got a bunch of viewers in chat. Hope everyone's doing well. If you've been racing, what question out to you guys? I've yet to drive the GT2s for more than literally 3 seconds. What's good out there? Who's been liking what? What should I hop into? They all look super cool. Really fun looking cars, and I'm really excited to try them out, but not quite sure which one to hop into. Very curious. So we got 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in qualifying as we have Renato Dornelas on his first hot lap. Renato, super quick driver. You can expect him to make his way up there, really challenge some of the top guys, but is he going to have enough to bump Booth off the top step in qualifying? Multiple people who could potentially do that. Again, Dornelas, Felipe, Sanchez, Smith, Wells, all these guys. Lots of pace in them, but is it going to be enough? Renato now in the 3rd sector, making his way up into the Europe car corner. The chicane rock, that's how they pronounce it, RACC. And finally, the New Holland final corner. Carry as much speed as you can. What is his first time going to be? Where is Renato Dornelas going to end up? Ooh, looks like that may have been an invalidation somewhere, unfortunately for Renato. But fear not, because his teammate Gabriel Felipe up into pole position with a 43.5. Whoa, what an incredible performance there. I do love the onboard laps. Charlie, clearly that was enough for you to get a pretty smoking lap in there, but I'm sure we're gonna see you challenge for that P1 position, as Gabriel Felipe just stole that from you, stole that pole position from you. So hopefully you do not get another disconnect. I'm really hoping for you to get some good battles out there. I know you've got incredible pace and really happy to see you out here. Welcome to our GT3 championship. Looking forward to your performance out in these races as we have a double header tonight, 30-45 with a pit stop mandatory in each race. Going to be an exciting one, going to be a hot one as we are here at Circuit Catalunya in Barcelona in Spain. Tire pain in Spain we have today. Ooh, big correction. Gabriel Felipe must have lost a little bit of time, unfortunately for him. But yet still improves. 43.4 now on the board. Now, who is going to challenge that time? Who has got it? Jake Wells out there. Lots of time in hand. Does Jake have anything to say about that position there? Jake forgetting to upload his livery yet again. P3. And Renato Dornelles topping the charts at an incredible 142.977. Oh my goodness. That is unfreaking real. Unreal. It is quite the grid out there, ladies and gentlemen. We have pretty much a second amongst the top 10 drivers. Incredible pace on the field. Ferrari OP doesn't count. Typical racing driver. Just discrediting the performance by the machinery. Come on, Charlie. Get in there. Let's see you challenge that Ferrari in the race. Let's see what you got. Bring it. Lambo's no slouch. I don't know how it does at Barcelona, but it's got a pretty good BOP as of late. Man, improves yet again. That is unreal. 42.5 on the board. I mean, Renato's in a different dimension from the rest of the grid. Does anybody have a response to the incredible pace that's out there? I know where I sit. I'm in the 45s, 46s at best. At best. So to have 3 seconds is just unfreaking believable. Yeah, he's gonna just drive away if Jake and Felipe are fighting. But I mean, I think it looks like he's gonna drive away regardless of whether they're fighting or not, because he's got literally 6/10 on everybody else, on the closest person to the field, and nearly a second to P3. He's in a class of his own right now. Unbelievable. That is just ridiculous. Incredible performance by him so far. Does he have more? Can he put more on the grid? Is there more pace, more speed? Unreal. But again, super excited to have all these competitive drivers on the grid. I'm excited. I'm super hyped about this race. Oh, look at this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you noticed what just happened. It's really important. Ooh, a little bit of funkiness happening on the stream. Sorry, 1 second. Let me get that fixed. Oh, my mouse is disappearing. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah. Xander Zone, welcome. Wide Ferrari indeed, but we figured it out. Got Christian Dubé in P7, another incredibly quick driver. I mean, I guess I think they're all fast drivers, all super talented. Really fun to see all these guys on the grid. So, sorry, what I was saying earlier, again, another person, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, really important. What they just did, really important. Practicing their pit stops. Can gain literally seconds. And some people are smart. They do it. They practice their pit stops. Others, not so much. Lots of time to lose. I mean, you could spend hours trying to gain that kind of time by getting faster on track, but it's so easily lost if you just don't practice your pit stops, ladies and gentlemen. It's gotta practice your pit stops. That's all I gotta say. All right. Oh my goodness. Franco Sanchez sneaking in to the top spot. Whoa. Incredible. Do we have a disconnect? I'm not sure what's going on. We potentially may have had a disconnect with Renato Dornelas. Franco Sanchez in the P1 position as we go P2 with Jake Wells. Charlie Booth coming in that P3 spot, followed by Daniel Kaslassi. Incredible performance by Cass here in P4 position. Ali Raza in the P5, followed by Christian Dubé in P6. Wilson Fernandez in P7 with Chris Moses in P8. We have Quinn Smith in P9 with Anton Wass in the Racing. McLaren in P10. CJ Engine, the partner of the Racing McLaren in P11. Casey Schutte down in the Reckless Racing Aston in P12. Drew Burkowski in P13 in the Fuchsia competition in esports with JP Bellinger in P14. Yeah, Larry Landam in P15 with Pranav Kalavala in P16. Steven Tomazic P17 in the Row Your Boat Racing Aston. Kyle Jr. P18. Matt Artem P19. Kevin Yu P20. Steven Music in the P21 Ferrari, followed by Alex Freeman in a Trackalicious McLaren. Bruce Hopkins in P23 position with the Foolish Endeavor Aston. Jace Wright, P24 Fuchsia competition. Professor Kernotis in the Trackalicious Bright Green Ferrari in P25. Patrick Dubois in P26, Casey Swanseeger in the P27, Devin Anthony P28, Jonathan Dubé in P29 in the Test Racing Esports Aston. P30, Mach Speed in the only Nissan I think out there. Super exciting to see that out there. Jaeger Carew in P31, Blisket 32, Saver 33, Dutchy 34, Gabriel Felipe 35, and unfortunately, from a disconnect, having to drive from all the way in the back, Renato Dornelas in P36. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be insane. We have a really long session start time for some reason. Whoa. Well, let's have a look here. Let's go into free cam, actually. Let's drive through the grid a little bit as we see this incredible lineup of cars. Whoa, that's a lot of cars, ladies and gentlemen. And most importantly, and unfortunately, looks like we may have had a disconnect for Renato Dornelas. He's going to be all the way in the back, and with all that pace in hand, I think that's going to be a unfortunate race for him, but an exciting race for him, having to start from all the way back and fight his way to the front with all these cars in the way, having to be very careful not to get into incidents again. Baths are super difficult to overtake in most of the track, but he's going to have the straights. I mean, he's got so much pace in hand. I don't think it's going to be that crazy for him, but yeah, ridiculous. We got so many cars to go through for Renato. 35 cars to try and make it all the way to the front, and in a 30-minute race at the very start to begin with. So it is going to be quite the challenge, but I'm excited to see what Renato has to offer. We'll keep our eye out for him as we yet again go through this pack here. Finally, the vacuum racing Renato Dornelas in the back here. I'm excited. I'm excited about this race. I hope you guys are excited about this. Okay, so Felipe and Dornelas both disconnected. That is really, really odd. You're right. You're right. It is both of them. That is crazy. Oh, Cody Blanton reaching a 20 stream streak. Thank you, Cody. Just for your information, while we have some time, I have yet again, Cody, reached out to the boss. The boss's boss. You all know, Mrs. TRACKILICIOUS, as she has owed the community a stream. She huffed and puffed a little bit, but we are going to continue to work on that uphill battle and make sure that she gets out here for a stream. I promise we will get her out here one way or the other. All right, folks, as we are starting to get ready for our outlap. Goodness. I'm tingling. I'm tingling with excitement. This is going to be, with great misfortune of the disconnects, it's just going to lead to some super exciting racing, as I'm sure Gabriel Felipe and Renato Dornelas are going to fight really, really, really hard to make their way through the pack, hopefully without any incidents, and really bring the fight up to the folks ahead. Look at all those cars on track. Unbelievable. Got 36 cars on track. Plenty of challenges. What is going on? I apologize, folks. I'm not sure what is happening here, but looks like we've had a bit of a server reset. I'm not quite sure why. And it's not like I have the ability to jump out of stream and figure it out. Kind of tough being an admin and a streamer at the same time. But we got some pretty talented folks on the admin team. So we hang out here. Tempted to bring up some Steam Racer for you guys, but it's just not enough time to make that work. So why don't we do this? Why don't we go back into the booth? Go look at my lovely face for a minute. I don't actually believe that, but okay. Thanks, Mubbles, for the information. They did a server reset because of the extra session start timer thing. Okay. Hopefully we'll get that rectified for the next stream, the next race. Let's go and look. Some awkward camera angles here. But yeah, lots of cars on track. Going through one more server start, race start. I don't think it was a server reset, but for sure restart of the session. Got a bunch of folks out here. Why don't we have a look? I'm really curious, actually. Let's go back on the grid. Let's see how the distribution of cars are. So we got quite a few, interestingly enough. A lot of McLarens. You can see loads of McLarens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Freeman was the last one. 8 McLarens compared to the
20 seconds.
loads of Lamborghinis. We got 5 on the board here. How many Lamborghinis? 6 Lamborghinis, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ferraris. Yeah, it looks like a pretty even distribution of McLarens, Lambos, Ferraris. Quite a few Astons out there. Seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 on the board right now. I think 1 or 2 more up there. 5, 6. Yeah, wow. Pretty much 7 McLarens, 6 Lambos, 6 Ferraris, 6 Astons, 2 Audis, one lonesome Mercedes of JP Belanger. Loads and loads of cars on track, nonetheless. Well, yet again, here we go. On the outlap, as we have all of these fantastic drivers out on track. Is it going to be a fantastic race or a calamity of collisions? Hoping for the former, not the latter. Both from a streamer's perspective and an admin's perspective. Hoping to see some fantastic racing. Eyes are going to be all on Gabriel Felipe and Renato Dornelas in the back here. Are they going to have what it takes to come through the field, to avoid any incidents? Really, really unfortunate disconnects for these two. Not sure what happened, but I'm certain it's going to lead to some really, 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 really exciting racing. Huge luck for the G27 enjoyers. Franco Sanchez, the Argentinian, sitting in the earned, or I should say gained, pole position from Renato and Gabriel, dropping into the back from the disconnects. Jake Wells, an equal equipment McLaren, sure going to be challenging Sanchez as best as he can, warming up his tires there. Again, some pretty exciting drivers right behind. Charlie Booth with a disconnect as well, trying to find the pace as we had very limited time out on the field, on the track. In qualifying, you have Daniel Caslassi, aka Cass, returning from a long hiatus from Trackalicious. Love to see him back as everybody starts getting themselves into the side by side, the hold hands, let's cuddle formation. Of course, very, very distant than what actually happens out on track. Out on the straight, getting ready. All systems go for these drivers. We do have someone in the pits, unfortunately. I don't know who that is, number 3. And we are green, go. Really good start by most of the drivers. Looks at the front two, getting off to a really good start. Jake having an amazing start. Is he going to be able to keep that position on the outside, using the entire width of the track? Looks like Franco trying to maintain the spot still, now having the inside, the better line as Jake tries to send it on the outside. Really low grip, especially on the first lap. These guys' tires not quite up there in temperatures. Again, side by side, Jake again sending it on the outside. Gonna be the long way around, giving Franco the better run out of the corner, but still, now to the left-hander, Jake having the optimal line. Franco having to concede that position. Charlie Booth also looking on the inside. Charlie and Ali Raza fighting for position now right behind. 1, 2, 3, Franco having to concede that position finally. Oh no, Booth going wide, but a good safe rejoin. Ali Raza gaining that P3 position. Now coming from Jake Wells to Franco Sanchez to Ali Raza to Charlie Booth, having dropped that back quite a few positions, having Wilson Fernandez in 4th now. Looks like Christian Dubé just behind him in 5th position. Looks like a pretty decent opening lap so far from everybody. No, not too much craziness happening. Where do we have some of our drivers here? Looks like Gabriel Felipe in the thick of things, up in P29, P28 now as the timing charts update. Oh, shooty, something happened. Where's he going? Dropping down the charts. Can't seem to catch him. Looks like there was a bit of an incident. Let's go back and have a look at what happened. It's Case Shooty and the Aston there. Was there a bump? Oh no, that's really unfortunate as he gets tapped in the back by the Mercedes. I'm not quite sure who that Mercedes is, but that's going to be really tough for Shooty, having to make his way all the way back up as he tries to find his home position of P6. Well, with that having happened, let's pay attention back to Gabriel Felipe, now up into 22nd position as we have, where did Renato go? Renato still in 32nd. Gabriel Felipe making some really good time in the purple and green McLaren, now in 22nd, looking like gaining yet another position in 21st. Super exciting performance by Felipe as he chases down the Mad Fox Lamborghini of Zane Blisket. In the back here, or in the front I should say, Charlie Booth trying to challenge for some more positions, having dropped back behind Cass. We know he has the pace, but does he have the ability to go around this Ferrari? As we hear in chat, OP. Welcome, Mr. Dead Zone, cheering on Jake, who is now in P1 position, the half a second to P2. Jake doing a pretty good job of holding Franco Sanchez in that 2nd spot. Ali Raza, I'm sure, eager to gain that 2nd position. Does he have the pace? We don't know. We'll have to see. This front pack still really tight as everybody trying to find their way through the pack. Steven Music looked like challenging that Porsche of Casey Swanseeger, looking on the inside. Music now side by side going into the first corner. Casey trying to optimize the line. Music being able to send it clean side-by-side racing in T1. Music a little bit wide, maybe giving that Mad Fox car a little bit of opportunity, but able to switch it back now on the inside of T3 and able to gain that position with little competition from Swanseeger. Swanseeger a little bit wide on that corner, giving Music the opportunity to go through. Blisket now right behind, eager to gain that opportunity as we continue to try to watch for where Gabriel Felipe and Ornelas are. Felipe looks like he may have had another disconnect. We had more disconnects. What is going on? I think I just saw Felipe disappear from my charts. Not seeing him. We'll try to get back at the end of the race and try to reach out to him and see what was going on. But a couple more battles going on the field here as we see Patrick Dubois in the Rockefeller Racing Aston. What a cool looking car. What a monster livery. And the boys over at R&R Racing tucks it in, makes it through, gets that position up into P26 for Patrick Dubois. Steven Tomazic now putting a lot of pressure on Jonathan Dubé. Ooh, deciding to come into the pits early. Probably a pretty smart decision as he's being held up by some traffic. He's going to maximize some clean air time for himself and see if he could make this undercut work. Oh, back onto the grid, we have Kaio Jr. now attacking Matt Artem for that P12 position. Only half a second behind in the BMW. Not a car that's used as much these days, but Junior, a champion trying to stick with that lovely looking beaver face, the big teeth in the front, as BMW's grills get bigger and bigger and bigger every year we go through. Every model year, soon we're going to have an entire hood of holes as their grills get bigger and bigger. Those kidneys now up for sale on the market for $1 million each. Now back to the front, Christian Dubé up into 5th position, having gained 3 spots from the start of the race in the Test Racing Esports Aston, challenging Wilson Fernandez. Wilson is not going to be an easy guy to overtake. Wilson having incredible speed in that McLaren. Again, very curious to know what happened to his vacuum racing friends. Looks like we had a disconnect for Gabriel Felipe, still disconnected. I do not see him on the board. And Renato Dornella is in 32nd position. Some weird things happening for sure. Hopefully those Brazilian connections do not continue to fail us, as we have more racing happening tonight. So these disconnects are not going to affect their second race. Hopefully we do see him come back. John Holly, thank you so much. Gonna take a pause to grab that hydrate. And I've been muted this whole time.
What?
Yeah, so there's a good 2 minutes of me being muted. I'm sorry. Oh, thanks, Lizzie. Did look down on chat. You're a legend. Thank you for letting me know. So there was nothing exciting going on. You guys saw it on on the screen. You know what's going on. Oh, can't seem to get through a single stream without doing something silly. Thank you so much, Lizzie. You're a legend. Thank you for letting me know. Yes, as we have Gabriel Felipe and Renato Dornelas now up into 25th position, having pitted. So a real huge bit of free air as you see up ahead. Quite a bit of space as they're trying to optimize as much as possible. Yeah, I was, of course, doing IRL stuff. I just pretend like my kids were down here, which they weren't, and I had to deal with some stuff which I didn't. But that makes me look better than being just silly and not unmuting myself after having taken a sip of my milkshake here. Steven Music now 4/10 behind. Hopkins still trying to get that position. Is he gonna have a look again? Tucking in on the inside, trying to make Hopkins just think about it. Sometimes that's enough. Sometimes that's enough to make the person look behind and miss their breaking point. On this occasion, not so for Bruce Hopkins, doing a fantastic job of maintaining the focus and keeping the position ahead as we have the field spreading just a little bit through the bottom end of the field, but not at the top. These guys still bumper to bumper, less than a second between each other. Jake Wells up ahead, doing a fantastic job of maintaining, gaining that P1 position, but we do see a bit of a trend of McLaren to McLaren to McLaren to McLaren, top 4 positions. These guys, again, tucked right behind each other. Sanchez, eager, very, very eager to maintain or regain that P1 position that Jake Wells so skillfully gained right at lap 1. Now, as these guys are right behind each other, giving Ali Raza the opportunity to gain just a little bit at every corner. And not just Ali Raza, but we see Wilson Fernandez as well. All 4 tucked as if they're in a lovely parade lap here. Back to back to back to back. Ali Raza choosing an alternate strategy, tucking into the pits, trying to maximize again, get in as fast as possible, break as late as possible, and trying to gain as much time as you can. Welcome. I don't know how to say that. Chassisers? Like brutally butchered that. Chase Sears 1. Chase Sears, that's how you say it. And Zeno Turbs, welcome. Glad to have you in here. Hope you are enjoying the racing. As we see Ali Raza, one of the leaders of the race, tucking into the pits, breaking away, trying to alternate strategy from P1, P2, and P3 effectively, who was P4. Ali Raza having been in P3 position. Is that going to pay off for him? It's really important for us to pay attention to see if Ali Raza is able to gain any positions on Jake Wells and Franco Sanchez. Now, I'm sure he's going to opt for no tires. So the rules in this championship for this specific race in the doubleheader are 25-second pit stop minimum for refueling, and an optional 5-second tire that you could take. Fresher tires are amazing to have, but when you are in such a tight battle with Jake Wells, Franco Sanchez, and Wilson Fernandez, you're really gonna want to avoid that option to try and see if you can make this undercut work. He hopped in the pits early. He really hoping to come out with clean air and no traffic as they look for gaining an advantage anywhere on the track, on the racing line, off the racing line, in the pits. And we're going to have to see if that works out for him. Again, Jake Wells, Franco Sanchez, Wilson Fernandez now. All 3 now the back 2 again deciding for an undercut. This is where we're going to have to see. Let's hop on board with Ali Raza. See if he's made the right move. Ali Raza coming through the second sector. We have Franco Sanchez, Wilson Fernandez in the pits now. Ali Raza gonna have to try to maximize as much as he can this lap to try and see if he can gain the advantages on Franco Sanchez and get ahead of him before Franco Sanchez comes out of the pits, and hopefully not fall behind Wilson Fernandez. Really important lap here for Ali Raza. Super critical. Is he gonna be able to pull it off? Let's hop into the car with him. Why are we missing the audio is coming through? It's just my headsets. It is coming through. Again, Ali Raza going through the last sector. Where is Franco Sanchez? Where is Wilson Fernandez? Still stuck in the pits. with 25 seconds of mandatory pit stop. Again, Ali trying to maximize every little inch of this lap, every single millimeter of this lap, as he tries to power his way through the last corner. Are they going to come out ahead? Are they going to come out behind? Ali Raza now on the straight. Looks like we do see Wilson Fernandez and Franco Sanchez rolling out of the pits. They're right ahead. Is it going to be enough? Does not look like it. Looks like Wilson Fernandez does end up ahead of Ali Raza. That undercut simply did not pay off as Ali Raza loses the position to Wilson Fernandez up ahead. Now Fernandez effectively in P3 with Jake Wells ahead, and Franco Sanchez in second, and Wilson Fernandez in third. Now Ali Raza losing out majorly that big P3 position to Wilson Fernandez. It is going to be quite the uphill battle for him to try and regain that now. Jake Wells out there though, still trying to get as many clean laps as possible. This is going to be the next action out on track. What is going to happen? Where have Renato Dornelas and Gabriel Felipe ended up effectively? Renato Dornelas and Gabriel Felipe, the fastest two drivers. Now Renato Dornelas with the purple lap, of course, with the purple lap having been half a second faster than anybody else out on track. Now still trying to gain positions, as unfortunately at the start of the race, for those of you who were just joining us, had a disconnect, a whole disconnect, and ended up in the back of the field. Now having to battle their way back through the field. Renato Dornelas, an incredible lap of a 42.9, which is effectively half a second faster than anybody else. The next fastest person looks like is Gabriel Felipe with a 43.3. So really 4/10 faster than anybody, and a full second, at least a second faster than any of the guys up in the P1, P2, P3, P4 positions. Renato Dornelas absolutely ripping through the field right now, gaining as many positions as he possibly can, starting all the way in P36, now up to P13, with having several people ahead of him still yet to pit. Definitely going to gain a couple more positions, but is he going to get it to that P1 position? Unlikely, but important for the championship for him to gain as many spots as possible, as we have Dan Cass challenging for another position. Cass and Quinn. Cass going on the inside, Quinn on the wide side, getting the better grip on the inside. Cass does able to gain that position. Quinn Smith tucking in behind now. Really difficult on that corner. It's very difficult to go on the outside. I think there is quite an optimal line, quite a gripped portion of the track. Now we have Renato Dornelas tucking in behind Quinn Smith. Again, these Ferraris, as we hear, having a little bit of an advantage on this track. Renato Dornelas again looking on the inside. Now Quinn Smith, suboptimal line, going for an over-under, but just does not have the drive the same way the Ferrari does. Looks like Renato Dornelas is almost certainly going to secure that position ahead of Quinn Smith as he continues to drive through the field in P11 position now, as we have Quinn Smith falling farther and farther down the field. Couple of battles behind now. Jace Wright behind Bruce Hopkins. We have a much tighter battle here between Kevin Yu, Casey Schutte, and Zane Blisket. Schutte and Yu both in the, no, not in the, Schutte in a bit of a Lambo sandwich for ahead and behind. Schutte having had an incident at the start of the race, now trying to make his way through. Yeah, John, a really long hydrate. Started off with the hydrate, a really solid mute in not allowing you guys to hear me chug my milkshake away, but yeah, it was just so enjoyable that I had to stay on mute for several minutes and keep the stream on this silent awkwardness. Pro streamer here, guys. Pro streamer. Kevin Yu having a look. That double draft. Oh, there's a bit of a switch now. Casey Schutte having a look on the inside. Is it going to be enough? Not quite. Just not enough there to make it happen. Up ahead, we have Wilson Fernandez being pushed by Ali Raza, but not really quite there. Another, accidentally jumping off of that one. Larry Lenham and Steven Music still going at it. And just ahead, we have Jace Wright tucking in under Bruce Hopkins. Does Wright make that move work? Let's stick on them now side by side. Jace having the inside line. Again, as most of you know, Jace. Oh, big wiggle for Jace. Is Bruce going to have the drive outside of it? Yes, he is. As he regains that position, the consistency really paying off for Bruce Hopkins. Managing to keep that P17 position as Renato Dornelas continuing to charge through the field. We have immense battles going on here. Oh no, there's a missed breaking point. Oh no, looks like Larry Lenham. Is that Larry Lenham or Steve Music? One of the guys completely missing their breaking point. Falling down the field now. Unfortunate, battles on battles. Unfortunately, you lose focus a little bit, miss that breaking point, and makes you fall all the way back. Really, really unfortunate situation for one of the Ferraris there. I'm not quite sure who that was. I think it was Steve Music potentially. Really, really unfortunate move there, but hey, it's racing, it happens, and I'm sure that's going to be looked at by the stewards. Again, we have Gabriel Felipe now on Quinn Smith. Quinn just not quite having the pace today in that Audi. The McLarens and Ferraris looking quite overpowered today. Ronaldo dashes to the outside trying to optimize his entry line. Tucked in behind Quinn Smith here and the green and purple McLaren. And just ahead we do see Renato Dornelas challenging Daniel Caslassi. Felipe right under the bumper. Looks like Smith going a little bit wide. The gravel, I'm sure, slowing him down quite a bit. Again, Felipe darting to the outside to maximize his entry. Pushing as hard as he can now side by side in a really technical portion of the track. On the outside now, Quinn Smith tucking in on the apex, having the better line. But is that going to be enough? There's a little bit of a traffic just ahead. Quinn Smith managing to make his way through. But Renato Dornelas, sorry, not Renato Dornelas, Gabriel Felipe and Quinn Smith still side by side. In one of the most difficult portions of the track, still side by side. But Renato Dornelas having the outside line onto the front straight. This is going to be absolutely key as he makes his way through the final turn. And a little bit of a wiggle by Quinn Smith in the back, definitively giving Gabriel Felipe the position. And Felipe just drives away as a huge mistake by Quinn Smith back there. I mean, it really wasn't that big a mistake. It was a little mistake, but a huge outcome. But a great couple of corners of battling between these two drivers. Gabriel Felipe and Quinn Smith, incredible talents. Really wouldn't expect anything less from them. A little bit of bumping and banging between the doors, but yeah, really, really good driving by those two. Really fun battle to watch as we continue to see these guys make their way through the field. Now Renato Dornelas up into 8th position all the way from the back, as we have, of all the drivers, looks like Jake Wells and Matt, our team, the only two drivers yet to pit towards the end of the race. Only 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the race. When is Jake Wells going to pit? And he's in the pits. He's in the pits. He's got a little bit of time. Where are Franco Sanchez, Ali Raza, and Chris Moses now? Where did, whoa, we have a couple of guys disappear from where we would expect them to be. Where did Wilson Fernandez end up? Oh, I thought we had Wilson Fernandez just up there ahead of Ali Raza, but looks like Franco Sanchez now coming through the last little portion. Does Jake Wells have the gap that he needed to maintain the P1 position, or are these guys going to get ahead of him? We'll maintain the sky cam here as Jake continues to be in the pits, waiting for these guys to come around the corner. Is he going to come out? He is now on the ground as we see Franco Sanchez coming through as Jake Wells speeds up. Is it going to be enough? Franco Sanchez still on the straight. Ali Raza just behind. Jake Wells speeding up to pace. Is he going to have it? Looks like he does maintain the position. Looks like the overcut was the move for this race, as Franco Sanchez and Ali Raza just don't quite have enough to have taken that P1 position. Jake Wells coming out to be quite the winner in the pit stop strategy, as you see Franco Sanchez and Ali Raza tucked in the back there with P2 and P3. Jake Wells maintaining that P1 position. Oh no, Wilson Fernandez in chat. Oh, that sucks, Wilson. That was such a good battle that we were watching between you guys. Come on, hop on back in. We got another race to go. Really hoping to see you back in. Hey Cody, hey Danny, welcome. Jake still up front as he does maintain that P1 position. And I'm sure by this point in time, his tires are going to be enough up to temp where he's not going to have that big a challenge from Sanchez and Raza unless he makes a mistake. Chris Moses making his way up to P4 position. That I'm not sure where that came from, but really good performance by Chris Moses, having gained 6 positions to get up to that 4th place. Really good performance by Chris. Again, seemingly the Ferrari and the McLaren being the cars to be in at Barcelona today. As we wrap up, a minute left with this 30-minute race. Now, huge gainers. Jake Wells into the last lap of the race. Biggest gainer, Zane Blisket, 13 positions. Whoa, that is incredible. Well, Gabriel Felipe Ronaldo Dornella says on my timing charts here that they're down 6 and 7 positions, but in reality, they've gained like 30 positions up into P7 and P9 respectively. Are they still challenging for more positions? I believe they are. Ronaldo Dornella is right on the tail of Christian Dubé trying to gain that final spot. We do have some more battles down the field here. Casey Schutte only half a second behind Bruce Hopkins in an Aston versus Aston battle here with only the last lap left to go. Jace Wright gaining himself a drive-through penalty. So for those of you who don't know, if you get 3 off tracks or off-track warnings in suboptimal places, sometimes the game thinks that you're gaining time if you go off track, which you are. On the 4th one, you get a drive-through penalty, which for those of you who don't know, get have to go through the pits. A stop go 30 for Jake Wells. Oh no! He sped into the pit lane. That's what Cody was saying. Big oof. Rip Jake. I did not see that. You guys did point that out. He gets a stop go 30, which effectively gives Franco Sanchez the position of P1. Whoa, that sucks. Whoa. What a turn of events. Franco Sanchez, that consistent. We talked about it earlier, folks. This is going to be a huge loss for Jake Wells, going from P1 position likely into 7, 8, maybe 10, 11, not sure. But as we see Franco Sanchez going through the finish line in P1 position, that is the spot that he wanted. That is the spot that he earned. Franco Sanchez, consistency and attention going into the pits, not speeding in the pit lane is what you get, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about it earlier. People practicing their pit stops, the huge gains and losses for missing something as small and technical as a speeding through the pit lane. We do have a couple of battles down the field still. Kevin Yu on Bruce Hopkins, Casey Schutte as they come through the final couple of corners. Are they going to have enough to make this position change happen? Looks like Bruce has a pretty decent drive out of the last corner, and Schutte, or I should say Yu and Schutte, tucking in behind Bruce Hopkins, managing that P17, Yu's P18, Schutte P19. Zane Blisket still in a battle with Devin Anthony up ahead. That energy from Lizzie coming out quite handy as he's able to maintain that 22nd position. Whoa, that was really unfortunate for Jake Wells. I think he ends up with, well, I think the issue is he gets that plus 60 because of the fact that he probably completed the race without the stop go 30 being enacted or served, I should say. So wow, that is unfortunate for Jake Wells. That's going to drop him really far down, probably into the P12, 13, maybe even beyond position. But what a race so far. Really incredible performance by all of these guys up front. Sanchez, Raza, Moses, Wells, and all that, while missing the action from Ronaldo Dornelas, from Gabriel Felipe, all these guys who had the pace, and Wilson Fernandez, I should say, but unfortunately got disconnected. Now, I don't know what's going on, Wilson. It seems like we're having some issues with the Brazilian connections, because you guys seem to be the ones that are getting into these issues. So hopefully we don't get any issues in the second race. Wow, that was an exciting bit of racing as we hop back into the booth and give me an opportunity to catch my breath. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was That was fun. I was excited. I told you I was excited about this race. We had incredible battles all the way through the field. Unfortunate disconnects, but those disconnects causing quite a bit of drama. Really sad to see Wilson Fernandez lose that spot up ahead. Really sad to see Dornelas and Felipe having to drop all the way to the back, but making them their way all the way up to P7 and P9 position. Huge gains. Clearly, I would never be able to do that, but I'm sure some of you in chat, some of you super skilled drivers, some motivated, some not so much, would have been able to do just the same as Renato Dornelas and Gabriel Felipe did in this incredible race. Yeah, Wilson, I think there's something going on, because I did notice it's just the Brazilians that I'm seeing disconnect. I will say that we did have Caio Jr. who did not disconnect. I think Caio's down in Brazil as well, as we get ourselves ready to go into Q2. Now, hopefully we don't see that again, Wilson. I'm hoping that you guys are able to get back in and drive a full race without any issues, as the field up top is absolutely incredible. Some insane battles happening, some insane skills up front. So really happy to see you guys battling for that position, and hoping that the second round doesn't give you as many disconnects as the first round did, as we fix this screen here a little bit. And we are in the second qualifying session, as we're going to have the even numbered cars go out. I'm going to go back into the stream here and have this go on autopilot a little bit. Looks like Ali Raza going out. Let's find you, Ali. Razzle dazzle. So important for everyone to know. 20 minutes is when people can get out onto the grid, or I should say out onto the track. 1 minute loading time for setups. Chris Moses tucking in right behind here. And then from 20 minutes to 10 minutes, the even numbered cars can start their session. And then from 10 minutes to 0 minutes, the odd numbered cars. As we have Ali Raza, followed by Chris Moses, followed by Renato Dornelas, followed by Charlie Booth. The speedy speedsters all out on track. I'm going to set this up for autopilot a little bit while I go grab myself a drink. Alrighty, folks, we are back. As we see onto Professor Kernotis in the traditional chrono, green and purple. Hey, Steven. Saw a couple of your battles out there looking pretty spicy. Alrighty, let's stop this autopilot and see what is going on. Who do we have on the board? Ali Raza with a 43.9. Chris Moses, 0.1 seconds behind. Only a tenth behind. Devin Anthony, 3 seconds. Casey Swanseger coming up in P3 provisionally. Marionette Lenham. Again, the Ferrari's looking quite rapid out there. So we stay with Ali Raza. So guys, I didn't get a response. I was looking for some advice from all you talented folks. I've yet to drive the GT2s. What GT2 should I hop in? I'm looking for some direction. Ah, that's unfortunate, Steven. I think we caught that. Is that the you were in battle with someone and there was another battle happening behind you and the guys missed their breaking point, came right through. Buckley, welcome. Stefan, how are you doing today? Maserati, should I stick with the Maz? Cass, we are able to check on any of the drivers you want to. We have a redeem that allows you to hop on whichever driver you want us to. So let us know. Let us know when we're checking it out, and we can hop on board with some of the drivers. See Wilson Fernandez in the P3 position now, provisionally. Just let us know, Cass, who do you want us to check out as we're going through? What I generally try to do is I try to go through and pick whatever battles are happening out on track now. I apologize. I'm not nearly as good a streamer as the legend Mike Noss. He does a lot better a job going through the field than I do. But if you let me know if there's a driver out there you want to have a look at, we are here to serve you. We put this stream up for you and for the drivers, and hope that you enjoy it. So if there's a particular person that you would like to see out on track, I'd be happy to change to that person during the race. Wilson Fernandez setting up for a hot lap here. Let's see what he's got. Patience on the throttle. This oddly seems to be really low grip in that corner. I'm not quite sure what it is. One of those corners where I think it's a feel corner. It's very difficult to have good braking markers or turning spots or whatever it is. So you really have to have a good feel for it. Right up onto the curb a little bit. Right through the curbing over there. Maximize the speed exiting there. Little bit of a tap here. Oh, that's the rear unbalanced. Maybe a bit too much curb as it sends the rear end out. Raza finding some pace from the previous race. I think he was at the high 43s. Now getting himself into the mid 43s for that provisional pole position before the odd numbered cars come out in the second half. Going to be keeping an eye out on Renato Dornelas, Gabriel Felipe, Franco Sanchez, as Wilson completes his lap here, looking for some gains. Is it going to be enough? Not quite. up into P2. Still an incredible performance. But these guys really need to dip themselves into the 42s. Now, we say that. Huh, he should get a 42. Why isn't he in the 42? Well, that's because it's incredibly hard. Incredibly hard. And you have to be a really, really, really talented driver to get yourself up there. And that is exactly what Renato Dornelas is. Charlie Booth out there trying to find some time himself. Trying to encourage some traffic to get out of his way, although they're not obliged to do so. It is your responsibility as the faster driver to ensure that you have enough room up ahead so that you do not get impeded. But Casey Swansiger being a gentleman and a scholar, allowing Booth to complete his lap. But is there going to be any gains? 2/10 off the pole position. A little bit. Gains 100th of a second. But not quite enough to get up into pole. 41 seconds to start your final hot lap in this session. This is going to be Charlie Booth's final lap. So we see Wilson Fernandez yet again finding a 10th here, finding a 10th there. Is it going to be enough? Gains 0.002 of a second as he goes through in his final lap. He just doesn't quite have it just yet. He looked like he had a 10th in hand in the final corner with a purple lap, but must have been an issue as Charlie Booth tucks away and lets people complete their laps now. So we got Ali Raza in P1 provisionally, Wilson Fernandez in 2, Charlie Booth in 3, Chris Moses in 4, Casey Schutte 5, Larry Landon 6, Matt Arteem 7, Steven Music 8, Kernotis 9, and Bruce Hopkins rounding out the top 10 as Charlie Booth trying to send the box 3. Is that the box 3? Is that a Mad Fox? A box 3 esports Lamborghini back to New Zealand where he is currently residing. Alrighty. Music up here. Trying to gain a couple of positions. Stefan, I appreciate it. No problem. I'm happy to stream. Happy to give you guys as good a quality stream as I possibly can. And in return, thank you for being here. Appreciate everybody who's in chat. Appreciate everybody who supports the community, all of our patrons. I'm still waiting for Mr. Nas to send me the patron page so that I could share it with you guys. But while we get the next group of folks out on track, we have our schedule. I think this has most of what we have going on the schedule, except for our Tuesday night races, which are missing. We do have our GT Tuesdays that are happening right now that everybody's been having a really good time in. But if you haven't signed up, West Coast Wednesdays, a later 11 p.m. Eastern Time Zone or 8 p.m. Western Time Zone racing that we've popped up to give some of our West Coast friends some love. GT2 Championship coming up as our GT3 Reverse has ended. GT2 Reverse now live. So everybody go in, sign up if you haven't yet. That's going to be a really fun championship. Getting some feedback from Buckley. Sounds like the Maserati is the car to be in. Gotta probably create a livery. For those of you who haven't and maybe want to do a little bit of a smaller grid, we have our Porsche Cup support series on Sundays starting at 7:30 Eastern, just before this race. Unfortunately, we lost streaming support for that, but hoping to get some more people to support. And yeah. Welcome, Damn That's Clean. Hope you are doing well. Appreciate the love. Appreciate you. I'm trying to guess. You probably are someone who's driving in the championship, so let me know who you are. And maybe get some stream action for you as you are out on track, as we have A couple of people out there now trying to put a couple of hot laps down in the shiny racing by Anton Watts. If you guys haven't seen this, this is pretty awesome. A lot of people showing a lot of love for this livery. So we have the Mystery Machine McLaren. I think it's awesome. Super cool. Great creativity by Anton. Love it. One of my favorite things, just the creativity that you see from these drivers. Oh, okay. Notbone, welcome. You know, anytime we see any streamers out there who are streaming ACC, big or small, especially the small guys, we love to show some support. Your community is our community, and our community is your community. We are doing our best to grow sim racing in North America, showing some love to everybody that's out there. So yeah, hope your streaming's been going well. Hope your ACCing's been going well. Do you know what your lap times are here at Barcelona? Clean. And Notbone, how would you guys fare in this championship if you were out on grid? We do have some incredible talent out there. And some incredible talent in the chat too. I see you guys. I see you guys in there. Just chilling. Watching these guys suffer as they try to battle for positions while you relax. Maxing, relaxing as Renato Dornelles smacks down a 43-1. Let's go check out this lap from Mr. Dornelles. Oh, super cool. Just run and you just finished your first career mode on ACC. Oh, you guys got to join our leagues. Career mode's one thing, but league racing is a completely different thing. It's such a blast. I think the really cool thing about racing in communities and in leagues is that you really get to know the people that you're racing. I think that kind of makes it a little bit more fun, that you have friends out there that you learn and you meet and you go back and kind of like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna beat so-and-so today. So yeah, really encourage you guys to join if you haven't done so already. I don't know if you saw the calendar just earlier, but check out our championships on SimGrid. And we do have a rookie series if you are newer. The rookie series has been an amazing stepping stone. We have so many drivers that have come through that program. And yeah, I've gone from being absolute rookies to an insane drivers. John Hawley in the chat, one of our rookie graduates, as we see Gabriel Felipe smack down a 43 flat, a 10th faster than Renato Dornelles. Whoa. Again, really hoping we don't see a disconnect from these guys. It's going to be such incredible fighting, as the odd number guys looking like they've got the leg up on the even numbered guys, getting P1, 2, 3, and 4, with the even number guys having 5, 6, 7. The pace out there is unreal, especially between these two back-to-back drivers. You see Gabriel Felipe just behind Renato Dornelles. Dornelles, I'm sure, super keen, super eager to pip and gain that pole position back from Gabriel Felipe. Yeah, Grumpy, I 100% agree. It's kind of one of the things that, like I said, I love about it. You know, no matter where I am racing in the grid, how much practice I've had, you know, I've had the fortune very recently to battle for some of the higher positions, but more normally battle for the lowest positions. And I love it. I love, doesn't matter whether I'm fighting for last or second to last, I should say, or first. It's so much fun. I have so much fun doing it. And you got, you know, the legends, the experts here. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Renato Dornelas, P1. Does Gabriel Felipe have anything to answer for? Not quite. He has to find a 10th. Gabriel Felipe has to find a 10th to try and gain that P1 position back. They have 2 laps remaining. Hop on board with Gabriel Felipe as he sees Renato Dornelas up ahead. He needs it. He needs it bad. Does he have it? We don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, and we have, like I said, Lizzie Tsunoda here, aka Lizzie the Legend Alicea, one of the rookie drivers here. Does a fantastic job, has been learning and growing through the seasons, and hopefully, most importantly, having fun doing so. One of the cool things to see is, Lizzie, I don't think you're last anymore. You know, when you started, you were one of the drivers that was consistently in the last place, as you would expect when you join a new series, when you start learning something new. But it's really cool to see you progressing into the non-last positions and trying to gain more positions ahead of you as opposed to looking behind you. Again, Gabriel Felipe, does he have anything in the tank? Are the rocket ships turned on to 110%? Going through the last couple of corners. Patience. Dornelas improving on his time. Gabriel Felipe not improving. Gonna have to settle for P2. Hopefully without a disconnect. Progression is key. And it's just focusing on the little things. I know a lot of people can get intimidated looking at guys like Gabriel Felipe and Renato Dornelas, but it's important to pay attention to what you are capable of. As we see Daniel Kaslassi go through the last couple of corners, is he going to be able to gain a couple spots? No, that is the end for him. Who else do we have on the field? Kevin Yu. Looks like he's got a 10th in him. That is going to be enough to gain a position over JP Belanger, who is also out. No, he's not on track. So this is going to be a position for Kevin Yu if he manages to maintain the delta. Come on, Kevin. Squeeze every little bit of performance out of that Lamborghini. But yeah, it is absolutely key to focus on your own progression, little bits at a time. There are so many levels, so many things to learn. Oh no, Kevin Yu misses out on that spot. Audio Architect, thank you so much for the follow and welcome to Trackalicious as we are gridded up for the second race of the night for our GT3 championship. We are in Spain and the tires are in pain as this tire heavy track is going to be challenging all 36 of our drivers as we go for our grid walk. Fortunately for Renato Dornelas, there is no disconnect as of just yet, and hopefully it doesn't happen in P1, a dominant P1 position for the Brazilian, followed by Gabriel Felipe in P2. Jake Wells, unfortunately, the leader of most of the last race, but speeding into the pit lane, getting a stop go 30. Getting him a huge loss of positions in P3 position. Franco Sanchez, winner of the last race in P4. Ali Raza in P5. Wilson Fernandez in P6. Loads of McLarens up front. Quinn Smith in P7 in the Audi. Really good spot for Quinn over there in the Audi. P8 is Charlie Booth in the Box 3 Esports Lamborghini. Christian Dubé in a P9. Dan Kaslassi, aka Gas, returning in P10. Anton Wass, P11 in the Mystery Machine McLaren in the Racing. Chris Moses, P12. Pranav Kalavala in P13, JP Belanger P14, Kevin Yu P15, CJ Engine in the sister racing car in P16, Casey Schutte P17. Not his usual performance. I'm sure he's got some pace in hand to improve moving forward. Larry Lenham in P18 in the Rockefeller Racing Ferrari. Kaio Jr. P19. Matt Arteem P20. Drew Barakovsky P21. Steven Music P22. Steven Tembazic 23. Professor Kronotis 24. Bruce Hopkins 25. Alex Freeman 26. Patrick DeBow in 27. Closing off towards the rear of the grid, Jace Wright in P28, Devin Anthony 29, Jonathan Dubé in 30, Casey Swanseger in the only Porsche on the grid in P31, Steven Sarver in P32, Rally Dutchy in 33, Karu in 34, and in the last row of the grid, we have Mach Speed in the only Nissan and Zane Blisket in the Mad Fox Racing Lamborghini. Wow. Fire up your engines. Let's go racing. Renato Dornelles still on the grid, thankfully. And I think we are up for some really, really, really fun times. Really great racing. Welcome, Audio Architect. Hope you are ready for some exciting racing. I am sorry, Stefan. I don't know what the quality time was. I can't go back and look. Have a great night, Clean. Hope to see you back. Hope to see you on the grid. Hope everyone is doing well tonight. I'm actually joined in the booth silently on the side here by my friend Alex here. So Alex, a friend from Chicago, came all the way here, got an opportunity to jump in to the rig, and we gave him 2 laps of Monza and said, it's kind of boring. Let's try something a little bit more exciting. Of course, what second track other than Mount Panorama for a noob who has never done sim racing in his life before on ACC, hops into Mount Panorama, and I was actually quite impressed. So Alex here, who's silently laughing on the side, spent probably a good 3 hours on the first night all the way till 2 in the morning trying to get a clean lap of the mountain. All right. And then came back the next night, undeterred, absolutely just committed to getting whatever the time is, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it was, whatever it was, managed to come back the second night, get a bit of a refresher, and put down a clean lap of the mountain.
2 minutes, 33 seconds.
As he remembers, 2 minutes and 32 seconds. Hey, that's all right. Everybody has a first lap.
Woo.
It's all good. It's a clean lap. We'll give you credit where credit's due.
Thank you. That's all I wanted. I wasn't gonna leave until.
Yeah, stuck at my house until he got that clean lap, which is why I was eager to coach him into getting a clean lap. Get him the hell out of here. But as we form through the last little section of our track here, lovely sunlight coming through. Everybody probably getting the orders from the game. 12 hours of Bathurst was awesome. Yeah, I watched a bit of that. That was crazy. I'm rating at Bathurst. I mean, I can't even imagine. Can't imagine the fear. Well, at least I would be scared of all of that craziness at Bathurst with rain and real cars and real like walls and kangaroos and stuff. One Big Lee, welcome. Thank you for the cheer. Oh, Audio, so excited. Really, really looking forward to having you on the grid. Hope everybody's doing well as we line up side by side, getting ready for the start of the race. Look at all those cars and the sunset. 7 p.m. here at Catalunya, at Barcelona. Looks like Gabriel Felipe having the better start. The Ferrari lagging behind. Jake Wells coming out, trying to gain a little bit of position, but no, not quite enough. Good side-by-side racing by all of the first 6 cars. Renato Dornelas trying to maintain that inside line. Felipe trying to send it on the outside. Jake Wells maintaining that third position. Ali Raza tucking in 4th. A little bit of a defensive move by Felipe, or sorry, I should say Renato Dornelas. Now back to back. Lining up. Oh, we see a bit of an issue down the road. The number 36 car, I'm not quite sure who that is, but we do have an issue back there. The 36 car of Chris Moses falling all the way to the back. That is unfortunate. Chris Moses having a fantastic race 1. Not sure what happened. See a bit of a yellow flag from Fernandez as well, dropping down into 9th position, but Renato Dornelas, dominant first lap, trying to build as much gap as he can to the cars behind. Looks like Charlie Booth looking for a move on Quinn Smith. Ali Raza going wide. Franco Sanchez on the inside now. Let's go into the TV mode here. Nope. Ali getting that position back. Really good driving by at least the top guys over here. Looking like some issues as well in the back. Oh, I love Misano audio. Love Misano. Yeah, Rossi did really well, I heard. I didn't get to see any of his laps, but that dude is just a phenom. Unreal. Credit to him. Love what he's doing. Love seeing him in the sport. And I know I heard him say that he was going to be back for more Bathurst next year in the GT3s. He got questioned whether he was going to come back for the Bathurst 1000 and the V8s, but I think he's going to stick to what he knows and what he's learning right now. Smart move, in my opinion. Alrighty. Still some more racing happening up here. Charlie Booth still challenging Quinn Smith. Does he have enough? Is the Lambo faster than the Audi? Is Charlie faster than Quinn? Christian Dubé just behind, having the fastest lap of the race. So far, I'm sure Renato's going to be eager to gain that credit back. These guys just all really tight battles happening. You can see some winners, some losers as the first couple of laps shake out. Again, Wilson Fernandez having the pace, but again, not quite sure what happened in lap 1. There it is. Renato Dornelas, fast lap of the race. We're at 43.1. Just a couple of tenths off his fastest lap in quali. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Getting a call for Hopkins. Let's see where Hopkins is. Bruce and P18. I know, Stefan, you and Bruce hang out quite a bit, don't you? Race together here and there. Foolish Endeavor Racing Aston P18. I'm going to try a little bit of something here, guys. Let me know if the audio comes through. I'm going to try to put my audio through the speakers so that we can have my friend here listen to some of the racing. So let me know if you hear the feedback through the stream. And if you do, then we're going to switch back to headphones. All right, I think we're in business now, so let us know. Hopefully you don't hear the audio from the race coming through, but if you do, let me know and we'll switch it back. All right, we do have more battles going on. Franco Sanchez trying to put as much pressure as he possibly can. Larry Lenham as well. Larry looking pretty strong in that Ferrari, and that's, you know, putting pressure on Charlie Booth is no easy task. It is definitely no easy task. We do have still a couple of battles. Oh no. Wilson crashed. You're right. Can we go back? Do we have enough to go back and see what happened? What is going on? No, he's tucked all the way in the back already. Wow, Wilson just really, really unlucky. Wilson is a super consistent driver, so it's surprising to see him get into a situation like this. So that is unfortunate, but I'm sure we're going to see an incredible drive back from Wilson Fernandez as he try to unmistake his mistake. Tamazic, Jace Wright applying a lot of pressure on Hopkins here. Really intense battle going on. I know we had a call from some more diversity on stream. Cass, Kayla, if you're looking for anyone in particular to look at, let me know. We'll hop on board with them. Again, Tamazic tucked in right behind. Trying to gain positions as we have little under 38 minutes left in the race. It's a longer race. Really going to challenge the decision of whether you take the tires or not. Oh, is he going to have the speed through the draft? No, looks like Wright keeping the... Oh, no! Tamazic miscalculating the speed through the second corner. Getting a little bit of contact onto Jace Wright. That is really, really unfortunate, as the battle was shaping up to be something quite exciting. But we have more. We have more happening on the field. Many, many battles going on. Franco Sanchez, Eli Raza, a bit of a gap between them now. Patrick DeBow, Casey Schutte. Casey Schutte really tight on Patrick with this Aston versus Aston. Schutte having a look. Tucks in on the inside. Is he going to be able to maintain that position? A little bit of a wiggle for Schutte. Fortunately for him, it's not a long straight beyond that corner to try and settle the car. And he makes that move stick. Kevin Yu now on Larry Lenham. Larry on the curbs a little bit. Probably losing out a little bit of time as Belanger right behind, also eager in the Mercedes. See Belanger having quite a bit of pace here at Barcelona, as both Yu and Belanger super eager to try and get into position. Oh, Belanger getting held up a little bit by Kevin Yu and having to wiggle the rear end and braking a little bit more than he would have liked to have in that downhill position. So not just Kevin Yu, but also Belanger and Steven Music right behind. Belanger having the power of the monstrous Mercedes now, looking on the inside of Kevin Yu. Does get the advantage, does keep the advantage. Now putting Kevin Yu in a bit of a challenging spot with Steven Music just behind in the Ferrari. And as we've seen, that Ferrari does have quite a bit of pace here at Barcelona. Still challenging. Really tight battles through the field. We got a couple more. Gonna see if Music's able to do anything in the next couple of corners. Looks on the inside a little bit. A tighter line. Not quite enough. Tucks back in. Settles in behind, trying to gain a little bit through the corners and hopefully optimize and get that huge draft on the straight. Kuno's complaint. With a few exceptions, ACC car sounds are nothing like the real thing. Sad. I don't know. Can't comment, I guess. Can't say that I've really paid too much attention. I think all the games have some of their pros and cons. Obviously, I think ACC is one of the better looking games, if not the best looking game. And the handling is fairly reasonable. I know each of the games have their complaints, or should say sims, as some of the more avid fans would insist on calling them. But yeah, everything has its pros and cons. ACC has been, with a couple of exceptions of some really frustrating situations like swap issues that we've had to deal with, which has unfortunately, made our teams lose out hugely on some competitive championships and competitive races. It's been relatively good to us. Provides a fun platform for us both to watch and race on, and host on, most importantly. But yeah, it does come with its flaws, and hopefully the devs, work through it, fix it, get better product in the end. As we see Charlie Booth now on CJ Engine. Booth having top 5 pace, I'm sure really eager to get back up into that position, as he had a little bit of an error at the start of the race. Oh, looks like we're getting pretty tight up here with Ali Raza, Jake Wells in the McLaren, Ali Raza in the McLaren, Franco Sanchez in the McLaren. Yeah, Fernandez, I'm sure he's got a little bit of fire under his pants, making him eager to gain as many positions as possible to optimize his championship position. Again, really tight battle between these guys. I mean, one of the things I was trying to explain to my friend is it's one thing to be able to drive laps just by yourself, but then having to drive with half of your screen just plastered with the rear bumper of another car presents its own challenges, because you lose some of your braking points, you lose some of your throttle points. The balance of the car changes a little bit, as we see Franco Sanchez, obviously incredible amount of skill as he's racing Ali Raza and Jake Wells just ahead. Raza with a little bit of a wiggle, but managing to clean it up. Stefan, I appreciate that. We do our best to try and attract as talent as we can, and try to create an environment which promotes clean and competitive sim racing. Community first perspective. Try to make sure everybody has a good time. Whether you're competitive on the front end, competitive in the middle end, or competitive on the rear end. Oh, that's a bummer, Stefan, but if you don't mind sharing your age, it's one of the facts that I love sharing amongst the community. Can you let us know how old you are again? Remind us. It's one of the things I really, really love about this community, is the diversity of people we have. 72. That's amazing. We have a 72-year-old who is, and I only say that, Stefan, because my mother-in-law, who was in her 70s when, oh my goodness, that was pretty tight. Sorry, I clenched a little bit for Franco Sanchez there. It's really uncomfortable, getting really tight, maybe missing his breaking point just a little bit, but still, again, you know, these guys are awesome. Some incredible driving. But yeah, my 72-year-old mother-in-law, I would never be able to do anything like this. So huge credit to you, Mr. Buckley, to be able to do what you're doing. I know you struggle with some age-related issues, but still love having you on the grid. You do a fantastic job, and love seeing the diversity of people all the way from, let's say, the age of 16, 15, I think, when her little Padberg joined us. Now Daytona winning Padberg, and all the way up to the 70s of Stefan Buckley. And I think we have a couple more. I know we have a couple more. The other thing is we have people all the way from Alaska to the West Coast to the East Coast, the Europeans to Taiwan and New Zealand. Charlie Booth in the race here, all the way from New Zealand and Australia. So yeah, just really fun having that many people and that diversity of people all come together with one passion from all over the world. Super fun to see. SRA Division 5 Gold. I'm not sure what that means exactly, but I know SRA's got an awesome community. Friends of ours, love those guys over there, do a really good job. Bruce Hopkins, a senior, 50 plus. Okay. Doing a really good job in P14 right now. Again, we see, gosh, it's so hard to peel away from this battle. Sanchez, Raza, putting a lot of pressure on Jake Wells. If you guys haven't already and don't know, which I'm sure most of you do, gosh, I think I'm gonna try this on the fly. I think this is his handle. Yeah, go check out Jake Wells, his first person perspective, as he is on the grid in P3, getting a lot of pressure from Ali Raza. Now, I can tell you one thing. Ali Raza's probably learned his lesson and is probably not going to try the undercut, as it failed miserably last time, losing the position to Franco Sanchez. Casey Schutte now down in 15th, trying to challenge Pran. Pran, another community leader, esports team leader, joining us from England, managing the super late times to try and get some racing in here in our community. Chris Moses now challenging Bruce Hopkins. I think Chris is a little bit up there in the ages as well. I think he's over 50. I know he races in E-Seniors, which is why I bring it up, but precision motor racing. Oh, looks like Chrono spun around. May have gotten himself into a situation with Kevin Yu and somebody else in a Lamborghini over there. Some gain positions for some of these folks. Hopkins going wide, letting Chris Moses through. And that is easy move for Chris Moses, getting himself up into the 15th spot after an issue earlier on in the race. Looks like Franco Sanchez has had to dip back a little bit, as Ali Raza still pressuring Jake Wells, now through some traffic. The Aston trying to stay wide. Not quite sure who that is. It could be Tamazic, potentially. Blue flag car, letting the leaders through. And of course, we've yet to talk about these guys up here who just seem to have rocket shipped away in a class of their own. Not only is Gabriel Felipe 10 seconds ahead of Jake Wells, but Renato Dornelas is a further 4 seconds ahead of Gabriel. So it's just the pace that these guys have is unreal. Incredible. Ali Raza now closer than ever. Jake with a bit of a mistake, but Ali with a bit of a mistake as well. These guys so close to each other, looking for any bit of advantage that they can get through the last sector. Ali close enough to potentially have enough draft to make something happen on the straight. Is he going to be able to do it? Jake gets a really good drive. Ali trying to undercut again. I can try. There we go. Not usually something we prefer on stream, Stefan, but I will do that for now. Lots of folks jumping into the pits as we see Renato Dornelas. Oh, we see Pran Kalavala. That's what it is. A lot of valalalas in Pran's name. Kalavala now with a stop go 30. Oh, Drew Barakowski with a stop go 30 as well. We saw that happen in the previous race, and now these guys are getting a bunch of them. Speeding in the pit lane, guys. You gotta practice your pit stops. So much can be gained or lost, and clearly these guys just not heeding the learning lessons from Jake Wells' huge mistake, losing out that race win from a unfortunate error. Yep, this time happening to a couple other drivers, not Jake. Jake, fortunately. Oh, we see Renato Dornelas coming into the pits. Now this is a guy who you don't expect to make any errors in the pits, as he manages to stop just in time. At least we assume so. Looked pretty good. Looked pretty good. Having some technical issues here as our support software just died on us. Comes back up. We're gonna hang out with Renato Dornelas in the pit. All right, folks, this is a bit of a bad situation for 21 minutes left in the race, but we have a couple of pit stops as my software just crapped out on me. So let me see if I can find an alternative solution as we move forward here with Renato Dornelas now bumping down into third place, but effectively I'm pretty sure is still first. Renato absolutely dominant in this race so far. So yeah, we got a bit of a technical issue, so I apologize. I'm gonna have to go old school on you guys here. Try to remember what my buttons were for different things. We flow through different battles here. Got a DSQ for Rally Dutchy. What was that from? Got to go really, really fast into the pit lane if that's the case. So maybe the pit board might have been broken off. I'm not quite sure. As we continue to see Jake Wells and Ali Raza battle for the effective third spot. Not quite sure. So Franco Sanchez looking like he hasn't quite pit just yet, which is why you see him in first place. Again, trying that overcut. The overcut seemed to be powerful, as we saw Jake Wells do it earlier, but he's okay. So probably at this point in time, he's going for the no tire change strategy. Ooh, it's gonna be a tough one to pull off. He's gotta be really good on his tires to make that one work. But yeah, we do see this battle between Jake Wells and Ali Raza. Oh, there it is, Rally Dutchy. Unfortunate DSQ by speeding. I think there's like a 50K difference between what gives you a stop go 30 by just speeding versus a quick disqualify. So that sucks, Rally Dutchy. Hope that's a lesson learned, that we practice our pits and know when to slow down, even if our pit limiter is not working. See a couple more people out on pits. Quinn Smith now up into 6th position. It's Franco Sanchez in the pits. Is out now and does make it work. What happened? Where are Wells and Raza? This doesn't make any sense. Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. So definitely Franco Sanchez not taking tires, choosing to get track position over going in for the tires. So there's a little over a 5-second delta. Now you're gonna expect for that to dwindle through the race with 17 minutes left in the race, as going off track doesn't quite help his tires. So Franco Sanchez in P3 position now, and opting not to take tires, with Jake Wells and Ali Raza opting to take tires, who are a little over 5 seconds behind, are gonna be challenging and really cutting down the time between them, as Franco Sanchez is probably going to struggle towards the end of the race. Now, is it going to be enough? Is it not going to be enough? I'm sure this battle is going to be super interesting towards the end of the race. We'll have to wait and see how that one plays out for Franco Sanchez. Right, let's check out and see if we have any more battles going out on track. Let's see, we got a tight battle here, and I apologize about jumping through like this, because we do have an issue with our streaming software. But we do have Chris Moses, P10 on Larry Lenham, P9. Moses quite tight. Ferrari on Ferrari. Chris going over the right-hand curb, which wasn't exactly what you would want to do, but super tight on Larry now, getting all the draft. Is it enough? Is he tight enough? Is he close enough? Not quite. No, Stefan, we don't have a rule on taking out the pit boards. It's if it looks intentional, then we will do something about it. I think that's a rule over at SRA or one of the other communities. I have heard that before, but we do not have an explicit rule on whether you, I mean, it's, if it looks intentional, then we're going to do something about it, right? But if we have had situations where someone accidentally takes out the pit board, and I mean, like I said, accidents happen. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard some other leagues do it. Chris Moses now half a second behind Larry Lenham. All right, we got... What? We missed it. What happened? What? No. Dead last to P10. Stefan, that's not quite dead last. I'd love to be dead last to P10. Oh, there's a tight squeeze. Moses looking on the outside. It's a bit of a bump. I mean, we keep telling people, and I mentioned it earlier on in the stream, practice your pit stops, folks. I'm guilty of it as well, guilty of not doing it as much as I should. I blame it on my limited time to practice, but practice, just know where pit entry line is, know where pit exit line is. It is literally seconds of difference. Seconds to gain, seconds to lose. It's just smart strategy. Chris Moses still battling for that position, as we're yet again starting to lose our voice, and that's a bit wide for Larry Lenham. Chris right up in there. Exactly where he wants to be. Lots of curb for Larry. Really wide for Larry. Not what you want to see. Chris Moses, a clean couple of corners. This is going to be his chance. This is going to be it. Is he going to go on the inside? Is he going to go out the outside? What is going on? Oh my goodness. Larry switching lanes. That was a bit of an interesting move. Larry going off. This is it. Is this it? Cutting the corner. I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be a couple of complaints coming in from Chris on that one. Valid from what I could see. Chris doing an epic job of trying to pressure Larry into some sort of an error. But this battling ahead is just causing the cars behind Music and Shooty to catch up in spades. $11 minutes left in the race. I do want to go back up and see what is going on between Sanchez, Wells. Now 3 seconds between them. Sanchez losing time. Banking on the fact that it's a hard track to overtake, but there's 10 minutes left and 3 seconds. 2.5 seconds now for Wells and Rosler to catch up. Sanchez probably banking on the fact that Wells and Rosler are battling, so trying to maintain or use that to his advantage, but it doesn't seem to have been slowing these guys down at all. Their pace is still there. Well, now, that's not the line. Chris. What was that? frustration getting the better of Chris's judgment. In that particular occasion. Not what you want to see. But I'm sure will be looked at. Looks like he's shooty. Managed to get the position from Steam Music as he progresses up ahead to try and look at Larry and see if he can get that position. Yeah, that was kind of questionable, to say the least. Alright, let's see if we have any other battles going on track. Matt Artem. Yeah, Stefan, I don't think he ever intended on giving that place back. I think he felt slighted by a couple of moves that we saw from Larry Lenham. I'm sure the stewards are going to have a look at that one. 9 minutes left in the race. Wells and Raza now only 1.3 seconds off from Sanchez. Oh, I don't know. I don't know, Franco. I don't know if that no tire move was the right one. There's a lot of time left in these guys' pace. Looking quite strong. The no tire strat I don't think is gonna pay off for Sanchez, unfortunately. It was worth it though. It was worth the move. Sanchez being behind Raza, it was worth trying to see if he could get ahead. You know, nothing to lose, right? I mean, he's gonna, worst case scenario, drop back right behind Wells and Raza. I don't know if Quinn Smith has quite enough pace to make up the 7 seconds, or I should say 8 seconds to Sanchez. Although if he does, that's going to be a huge loss for Franco. Again, with only 7 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the session. It's going to be quite the battle. So just a quick... Yeah, I've been fortunate myself to have been to Barcelona. Lovely city. Lots of cool stuff to do. Cool architecture. All the Gaudi stuff. Sagrada Familia. The village. Really interesting city. Las Ramblas. The Olympic Stadium. So we see a battle between Dubé and Quinn Smith, sorry. Christian Dubé and Quinn Smith. 6 seconds behind Raza. I do want to go back to Sanchez here. Now, huge amount of pressure from Jake Wells. This battle is going to be interesting because the one thing Ali Raza wants to see is Franco Sanchez and Jake Wells battling so that Ali Raza can catch up. Again, an equal machinery, McLaren to McLaren to McLaren. Franco Sanchez doing his darndest in the older tires, trying to maintain or defend as best as he can, but Jake Wells, no, I thought he was going to have it, jumping out to try and get that position. Now looking on the inside. Ooh, huge on the curb. Again, this battling, giving Ali Raza the opportunity to catch up. Jake going a little bit wide. Some tires on the grass. Exactly the type of thing Ali Raza was looking for. Definitely not the type of thing that Jake Wells was looking for after his big mistake in lap one, or sorry, race one, I should say. Wells looking on the inside, doesn't have it. Ali Raza right there. All three of these guys really fighting hard for that last step on the podium. Franco doing a great job so far with 5 minutes remaining in the session. Again, Renato Dornella's just out of sight, out of mind, way ahead in P1 position. Gabriel Felipe in P2. huge advantage. But this fight for P3, real and present and on your screens right now. Jake Wells trying his darndest to make up the loss from that first race. The difference, ladies and gentlemen, if you weren't here earlier, Franco Sanchez opting out of taking the 5-second tire difference. Now paying the price as Jake Wells and Ali Raza right behind him, just waiting for the slightest mistake or the traffic that's coming up ahead between these three. Franco Sanchez really needing some draft up ahead. I don't know, looks like Casey Swanseger is just a little bit too far ahead to make that work. Here we go, Jake looking at it again. On the inside, side by side. Is it enough? Yes, does make the move stick. Franco Sanchez conceding the position. That is the spot for Jake Wells. Oh, Franco Sanchez coming back at him on the inside. Does manage to get the overlap. There's a little bit of a touch, a little bit of a wiggle. Otherwise, going wide, trying to clear any of this incidents potentially happening. Franco Sanchez trying as hard as he possibly can, but not quite enough. Jake Wells looking like he's maintaining that lead position, that P3 that he was fighting for. Now, not just having the fresher tire McLaren in front, but the fresher tire McLaren in the back. Ali Raza trying to squeeze his way through, trying to make it a little bit more efficient to pass than Jake Wells was able to. Jake Wells having fought for several laps, trying to get that position and wiggle for Jake Wells up ahead. Is that going to be enough for Ali Raza to catch up? Ali Raza now making it through Franco Sanchez, unfortunately tucking back into the P4 or 5 position that he was in earlier. The gamble, a really intelligent gamble, not much to lose there potentially, but we see in the back Quinn Smith now in sight. Quinn Smith only several seconds behind Franco Sanchez, 4 seconds with 2 laps remaining in the race. Is that going to be enough for Quinn Smith to make up all of that difference and battle through Franco Sanchez, effectively making the strategic move that he had decided, one that doesn't pay off? Now Ali Raza coming through. Ali Raza having lost a bit of time to Jake Wells up ahead. Jake Wells really firming up that P3 position now with almost a second difference between him and Ali Raza. Now the fight to really bring into question is Franco Sanchez gonna lose out to Quinn Smith, who is only 3.5, 4 seconds behind Franco Sanchez. Franco Sanchez's tires are now going to be struggling, begging for a break, begging for mercy. But Quinn Smith, having taken tires, is going to be chasing down. Now this could potentially be a position lost or 2 positions lost unless Quinn Smith and Christian Dubé are going to battle, effectively slowing them both down from potentially gaining that opportunity from Franco Sanchez. Now Quinn Smith and Christian Dubé having to make through a little bit of a back traffic from lap traffic, I should say, from Casey Swanseger, but Casey has been pretty respectful letting the guys through. Looks like he's going to do so again. Quinn Smith and Christian Dubé making their way through. Again, bumper to bumper. They see Franco Sanchez just up ahead. 2 laps remaining. Are they going to have enough time to make it work? Franco Sanchez losing amples and amples of time to these guys. Maybe we could switch off to the relative time. Now only 3.3 seconds between the drivers, between Quinn Smith, between Franco Sanchez. Christian Dubé also posed and eager to gain that position. Looks like Ali Raza and Jake Wells both having made their way through. Now Renato Dornelas on the final lap, just coasting through this entire race. Renato Dornelas, Gabriel Felipe, Jake Wells firming up that P3 spot now. A second and a half between him and Ali Raza, driving away unless he makes any mistakes, as we did see him making the last lap of the last race, losing him the race and many spots at that. Is it going to be enough? Franco Sanchez now quite in sight. Alex Freeman making a bit of a mistake up ahead, hopefully not becoming a part of the equation here. Quinn Smith now only 3 seconds between him and Franco Sanchez. Looks like Alex Freeman jumping out of the line, giving these guys the opportunity to maybe drive through. Probably looks like that's why he is ducking out. Yep, there we go. Alex Freeman doing an awesome job as lap traffic. Not necessary, but being respectful on track. Now 2.6 seconds between Quinn Smith and Franco Sanchez. Franco Sanchez losing amples of time. Again, a risk that he had to take Is it going to be enough? Do they have enough of a drive? Do they have fresh enough tires to make this work? Franco Sanchez, still fantastic drive. Mad respects to the winner of race 1. But Quinn Smith and Dubé chomping away at the Delta as best as they can with the fresher tires.
Holy smokes!
Whoa! Jose Guzman, J Goose Gaming coming in with the sub. You legend, you absolute legend. Thank you so much. 17 months. You are a legend. Absolutely. Thank you. Vroom vroom indeed. Quinn Smith now only 2.4 seconds behind Franco Sanchez as we enter the 3rd sector. Oh my goodness. Christian Dubé only 0.2 behind. Is he going to give a challenge for the P6 position? Quinn Smith looking ahead. Quinn Smith looking behind. Not sure where to look. These battles are absolutely intense. 2.3 seconds now to Franco Sanchez. Only a couple of corners left. Awesome. Great job, Jose. Oh, we got some lap traffic issues ahead. These guys making their way through. Looks like Franco Sanchez is going to be able to maintain that position as Gabriel Felipe and Renato Dornelas finish their races in P1, P2 and P1 respectively. Jake Wells, P3, Aliraza, P4. Franco Sanchez maintaining the P5 position. P6 for Quinn Smith, P7 for Christian Dubé. What awesome racing. That was really, really exciting. Really, really entertaining. Wow. Jake P3 is washed. Oh, Jose. If only you knew. Jake Walls West. Jake Wells, or Jake Washed Wells, was in P1 in the last race and then sped in the pit lane in his second to last lap and got a stop go 30, effectively costing him the race. But was able to keep P3 position on this one. Great performance, great battles. That was I had a blast. That was really exciting racing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Doubleheader, round 5 at Barcelona. Good job to all the drivers out there. Some maintaining a level head, some allowing the frustration to get the better of them as we hop back into the studios. Well, folks, that was really good racing. And it does look like I'm looking at Discord right now, and it does look like someone took the pit board out. So hopefully our stewards are going to go back, have a look at it, and see what happened. All right. Well, if we can get some of our winners, let's see. Let's try to see if we can get some of our guys in here. Jake, who else did we have? Jake Wells, Franco, Sanchez. Alrighty, we have the two legends, Gabriel Felipe and Renato Dornelas. You guys had incredible speed. What happened to you in race 1? Disconnect?
Yeah, we had a disconnect right before the start of the race. So when we reconnect to the server, we were like less than like P30, 35 and 36. So we tried to reconnect again. So unfortunately, we just had to start that position. So yeah, it was a bit unlucky, but we had a good pace though, but not enough to get higher positions, but still good enough to top 10, which is very good for points and the championship.
Yeah.
And
I think the server was against us.
Yeah, Gabriel,
Yeah.
we did.
Brazilians didn't work out today because Wilson also lost connection
Yeah,
by the end of the race.
we put in our server, we put in block Brazilians code. So every
I
time,
think so.
yeah, no Brazilians in the top 3. No, you guys,
Yeah,
you,
we were joking because the server is has not the BOP, so that was the BOP
yeah,
that we got. So
the
it
Brazilian
was
BOP. It's a new code,
yeah.
folks. If you don't have it, if you guys want it, it's a Trackalicious special. We kick all the Brazilians out. Guys,
And you should put the LFM BOP for next race.
we're talking about it, guys. So as you know, we had a big update, right? So we are discussing what the
Yeah. The
fair,
first week was like no one knows what was gonna
yeah.
happen, but I think it's uh just if we have the chance of using it, like they have the data, I think we should use it.
Yeah, well, I think what we're trying to do, so that's a good discussion. Let's have this really quick, right? We're trying to identify a fair way to add and remove BOP, right? It's a new thing that we have in ACC, and we got criticized for adding BOP to one of the enduros, or updating the BOP for one of the enduros. So we want to figure out a fair way to inform all the drivers when we're going to do it. Make sure that it's not the last day or things like that. So we do ask for a little bit of time and patience while we figure out the most fair way to add the BOP. Do we want BOP? Yeah, I think it's the best thing to do. It's just, how do we add it? How do we change it? How frequently do we update it? So these are all server side conversations, admin side conversations that we're trying to do the best thing for the community and being and fair, just fairness, right? So we will definitely have that conversation and update the community as to how we're going to execute that plan. But back to the racing. Yeah, you know what, Gabriel and Renato, you guys did an incredible job, even having the disconnect. I mean, you guys had unbelievable pace. Gabriel, you were miles ahead of everybody else on track, but Renato was in a different country, in a different universe. Just absolutely incredible. Renato, did you put a lot of practice for this race, or is this a track that you really like?
Uh, no, I had a setup and uh, I raced at LFM, I think December or something like that. So just practice from 2 hours before the race.
Okay.
But the setup was there, so didn't have to.
So
Uh,
Renato being very humble and saying that it was just a setup, but we all know that it's not just setup that brings that kind of pace. It's incredible talent as well and experience, and we love watching you on the track when you are in battles, coming in all the way from the back up to what was sixth and ninth, seventh and ninth position that you guys did. So really incredible job, fantastic performance out there, even in the first
yeah,
race and the second race.
we
Um,
are waiting for the BOP so we can fight together, like me against Felipe.
Yeah, I promise I will have that conversation with the admin team as soon as possible. Again, we're just trying to figure out the fair way to execute it, right? If we just, say 1 hour before the race, we say, "Oh, there's a BOP," then a lot of people will complain. It's like, "Oh, we didn't know," or whatever it is. So, we have to come up with a strategy that is right. So, we'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll do it sooner or later, but we will do it. Okay, well, we also have Jake Wells in chat, who had a really, really unfortunate situation in race one. Jake, why don't you talk us through what happened in race one after your dominant performance?
I just came in a little too hot into the pits and got the stop go 30, and just went from high to low real fast. But that happens. It's a dumb mistake.
So Jake, what advice would you give to all of our viewers out there about the biggest gains and losses in racing?
Just make sure you don't miss the pit entrance and the pit limiter line. You don't want to be going too fast, because even a second or two slow will keep you from going to stop and go 30, which is about 60, some tracks 80 seconds. So yeah, just be careful, be vigilant. It's better lose one place than lose 24.
I think the translation, folks, is practice your pit stops.
I did practice. That's the worst part. That's what made me.
Oh my
have,
goodness, Jake.
I never practiced them, but that gets me to slow down earlier. But I practiced this one, and that's why I came in hot because I was like, okay, we're good, and nah.
Well,
But things happen.
that's unfortunate. But talk us through race 2. So we believe what happened, and I think this is pretty true, that Franco Sanchez pitted later than you guys, but didn't take tires. So that really
Correct.
gave you guys the opportunity to battle. And that, what an intense battle between you, Franco, and Ali Raza.
Yeah, Ollie had the best of me a few times, but was able to just hold him off. It's so tough to pass at Barcelona, so I mean we had a full send in a T1, little Max Verstappen style, but I mean we were ahead, but it just came in still hotter. But yeah, I don't know if you caught the end there with me and Ollie last few corners. But man, that was one of the most intense battles the last 3 corners that I've had in a long time.
Yeah, incredible racing. Again, really great performance by all of you guys. Super happy to watch just all the battles through and through. And with that, we are going to close our stream and we're going to give the last couple of words to our winner and the guy who has the most pace of today, Renato Dornelas. Anyone you want to thank, anything you want to say to the stream before we end the stream here?
No, just congrats everyone that did the race. It's been a nice championship. It's always nice to race here at TRACKILICIOUS. So hope to be make it a good championship till the end.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that coming from an absolute legend, and all 3 legends in the VC here. Renato Dornelas, P1, Gabriel Felipe, P2, and Jake Wells, P3 of the second race. Gentlemen, thank you so much. And we're going to end the stream here. And let's give let's send a raid here to, well, for those of you who are, before we do that, who are looking to join our championship, get on SimGrid, hop on, get into the races of all skills. We have rookie races. We have all kinds of races. And until then, we're going to send it over to Dreams Forgotten. Go say hi. A channel intended for mature audiences. Go say hi to them. And see you on the next stream as we come back tomorrow for the Rookie Series and the GT4 Open. Tomorrow night, starting at, I think, 7:30 Eastern, 8 Eastern. I think 8 Eastern. That's probably it. Join us back. See you tomorrow. And thank you so much for tuning in. I am Eric Ghoukasian here at TRACKILICIOUS. And we'll see you next time. Good night, good morning, good evening. Have a great day wherever you are. See you around.